construction. With it's equivalent to the size of 50 soccer fields. It's malls inside malls. You've got the largest aquarium in the world inside. You know, Dubai, land of being the world's largest, longest, biggest ever. So it's kind of that big scale project. In these projects, there is a genuine problem that you cannot always hold on to design and build strategy. At some point, when you come to income generating units, it will end up with design, build and build strategy. Because I'll tell you, imagine you have 22 cinemas, which Dubai Mall has. And the 22 cinemas probably will be owned by a client back in Singapore. So the property developer is building a large mall. He's got space for 22 cinemas, and the Singapore guys, they want to own the cinemas out there. So they'll be just given a space in the mall. They'll have their architects working on the design, and the design is just given to a builder in Dubai. So the design is frozen, right? Right? There's the contractor is in Dubai, and a design which is frozen from Singapore comes into work with. Okay. And construction durations of income generating units becomes massively compressed at the end, because the mall, the construction of the mall is, let's say, if this is the time duration, it gets over by this time, and you know, you already have the start date to the mall, and the last part gets really squeezed. And communication and quality assurance procedures becoming immensely complicated since the participants are all spread around the world. Now, my aim is to develop a workable strategy to implement team integration in such a situation, to make the construction procedures fast, and not just restricting my strategy in meeting rooms, but to disseminating down the delivery team. I've gone through some literature of how construction durations can be compressed, and this is what I've come up with: increased productivity, design buildability, pre-construction planning, less conflicts between consultant and contractor. That's what I'm trying to work out, which has got a relative important index of 0.811, which is random among the 10 factors by a research done by Kumaraswamy and Chan. And the closest I could get from literature review was a model by Tsai and Chen, where they talk about fast-track cross-organizational process integration model, but it was kind of actually very complex, generic, and vague in the sense they only talk about identifying the key players and working out an algorithm to work out a model, but a model never came to. Team integration, that's another research by Baden and Baden. They talk about integrated construction process team. They talk about features of such an ideal unit to be single focused, work towards mutually beneficial outcomes, predict time, cost and quality by utilizing collective skills, shares information freely across all professional bodies, which seems highly unlikely, because in such a situation, you're sitting around a meeting room, and if you remember Ian's lecture in partnering and collaboration, you're exposing yourself, aren't you? So, and procurement based on professional, it should be actually based on professional capability to work collectively, but which never happens. Again, the big word blame game. I'll describe the situation. This mall had 22 cinemas which I was working with. We had a contracts manager, 29 years of age. It's a she. And all of us delivery team guys were thinking, what is she doing there? We had project managers who were immensely experienced and who actually could do the job. The thing is that it was absolutely to play this blame game. Because 22 cinemas in 6 months duration couldn't be done. So if we can't do it, we're not letting others to do it. It's a reputation at stake. We don't want our records to be broken by other people. She was an expert in contract law, and she was there to do this. She would ask me, Anthony, why are you doing that thing? That's according to the schedule. Have you got a shop drawing approved for that? No. Why? We did submit 2 days ago to the consultant. It hasn't come back. Have you got a receipt? See? Yeah, yes. Come on, planner, write a letter. And then he writes a letter, he runs down to the consultant's office, gets the seal with the date received, and then it goes down to the weekly meetings with saying consultant not responded. It was all saying we did it well, they didn't respond, that's out of the game. That's what happens. Involvement of downstream partners in upstream activities to actually, it's a bit of literature review in there. Quality control, again, Claudio would say IT has developed massively, but Claudia, I think it's just the input that goes in, the process and output. It's again a lot of effort back to the delivery team. And the complexity of getting shop drawings, method statement, everything approved. This is a sort of a framework which would be chosen by design, build strategy, construction projects. You've got a property developer. It could be a collaboration. It could be a company with building capabilities, design capabilities, and managing capabilities. And this would be what I was talking about, a specialist contractor who would actually do the cinemas and then chain. This is one setup. This could be a design-build strategy in large construction projects. You could have a property developer, then a team of builder and consultant. Then you would actually hand it over to a specialist builder, like a cinema builder. He would have a specialist team for steel design with a consultant in place. So this is a bit of a design and build strategy. Design is already frozen, but at least the consulting part of it could be, he could appoint his own consultant and solve that part of it. I've done some sort of an analysis on what happens in these sort of situations. Design and build strategy, here. What happens is, when this framework expands, it's naturally increasing the complexity of stuff. The communication parts are going to increase, and addition and deletion. You see, you could actually remove this builder from here and connect it directly to a steel special contractor. But what happens is the complexity of management for these guys increases tremendously, isn't it? But the other way is to introduce this guy so that he can take care of all these things. It's a balance that you have to find. You delete this complexity is going to increase here. You add this, the communication parts are going to increase. An inspection request or a something of approval which you require raised from here has to go down all this path and reach here and get approval, isn't it? So, right. So, that's it. Okay, why do you want the highest authority, which is the consultant over here, to certify your work? That's because in these projects, the agreement is often between the builder and the Singapore client. You don't want, it's a trust problem. You want them to certify your work rather than a consultant appointed over here by somebody who they don't know. That's a problem. And it needs to be certified by a very company which has got a high reputation, because when it comes to processes like when you finish the building and hand it over to the people, you need the local authority to certify it. So you need a team with a high reputation to be there. And then this problem, which is you could be drilling on my slab kind of thing. Like, you've got the mall built and you bringing another retail contractor, and he could be very well drilling on a post-tension slab, and you don't want to hit the cable there. So that's a genuine problem. You could be working on my MEP services which I installed, and you don't want another contractor to be, so that kind of a thing. And is short circuiting possible? Communication between this and that, those team over there directly? No, because the hierarchical successes become irrelevant in that case. It's again which I got from literature. So now we're coming to my innovation.